everybody, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to be doing the reading for June 17th to the 24th for the sign of Capricorn. Alright, my lovely Capricorns, how you doing out there? So, Capricorn. My Venus is in Capricorn. Interestingly enough, I'm a Sagittarius, but I resonate with Capricorn energy. I know quite a few Capricorns. So, you know, I always say to know a Capricorn, you must know a mountain goat. You have to know, you know, if you ever see those nature programs or you know anything about, you know, goats in general, but mountain goats specifically for the Capricorn, they're climbers, right? They climb. They want to be all the way at the top of the mountain. So they're high achievers. They like to stand on top of things. They like to dominate, you know, but they physically will like standing on things. If you're ever around a Capricorn, they seem to always want to be at the highest perch. They have interesting, funny little habits like that. I always think it's really cute when I have friends of mine who are Capricorns and they display these behaviors, you know. But they're very strong sign tarot card of the devil, actually. Very creative, highly creative. So let's get right into your cards. We're going to pick your 2 cards out for the week. All right, let's see what's going on for our lovely Capricorns this week. Give me 2 cards. Just 2. 2 cards to let me know what's going on with the 2 energies. They're coming towards our Capricorns taking center stage this week. Show me. First card is Healing Family Issues. Wow. And make the effort. All right. So, like I said, my weekly readings aren't necessarily always about romance. They're kind of general. So they can be about work, family, love lives, or whatever. But this one is about healing family issues and making the effort. All right. And, you know, that... Do I need to explain that? Healing family issues means talking, right? Forgiving, right? Learning, right? Confessing at times, perhaps. Right? All kinds of things are involved. But more than anything, healing family issues is all about making an effort. These two go hand in hand. You can't heal family issues without making an effort. So we're going to get you 7 cards out for the week. Show me what's going on with our Capricorns this week. Show me what they got to deal with, what's taking center stage in their life. Try to give me a clear picture. Show me. June 17th to the 24th for our lovely Capricorns. You want to know affirmations, reaffirmations, warning signs, whatever you got. Show me. Alright, your middle card, your card for the week. I can't believe this, right? If you look at my other readings, listen, the last 3 readings in a row have had Queen of Pentacles damn near at the center. This came out for Libra, and I think it just came out also for Aquarius. So now you're the 3rd sign that it's come out for, Capricorn. Could be dealing with a Libra and Aquarius. People always say that, don't they? I said, you know, I mean that as a joke. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. It just so happens that Libra and Aquarius did get the same card. Queen of Pentacles talks about protecting what you've worked for. You've come from nothing almost. Some of you have come from nothing, right? And even if you haven't come from nothing, where you have gotten to today, you've gotten to through your own blood, sweat, and tears, right? Where you've come from a place that at some point was more barren than it is now, right? If you look back in the background, you can see, right? In the background, the distant mountains, they seem to be quite bare. They're not green mountains, right? They're bare. So it's like she's traveled, right? She's made a journey through and created this lush environment through her own sheer sweat, right? Time, energy, love. And not only that, what she's worked for, she loves. Look at how she looks at the coin as if it's a child, right? And so I've said this in all of the other readings as well, right? And the other videos. It's almost as if, you know, whatever you've worked for is very dear to your heart. You want to protect it. You want to nurture it. You want to see it grow. If you're a businessman and you've built a business, you treat that business like your baby. A lot of people talk about their passions and their careers, their projects like they are their babies, right? It can also be your career. You feel very precious. This can be for people who are, you know, who've really worked a long time to kind of get to a particular place, right? And so this is also about protection. The Queen of Pentacles is all about protecting what she's worked for. You've got 7 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, and 9 of Swords. Wow. All right. Your partner or your person, whoever you're dealing with this week, has a Chariot, 7 of Swords, and a Hermit, 9. Interesting. So you've got at the bottom of the deck, you have 5 of Wands, right? Which talks about strife, talks about bickering and not seeing eye to eye, right? It's 5 young men. They're kind of fighting. They're not really hurting each other. They're doing that kind of fighting that young men do. It's kind of like, you know, fighting. It's like egos fighting. Who's the toughest? Who's the, you know, it's very much that kind of bickering. One upmanship. One upmanship, right? So who's higher, who's better, who's this, who's that. So there's a little bit of discord going on somewhere. All right, so this is your card, the card for your partner or the person you're dealing with, family member, friend, lover, and this is how you see your relationship, and vice versa for that person, right? So 7 of Cups right now, yeah, 7 of Cups is all about wishes, right? What you wish for. And 7 of Cups, so they're cups, they're emotion, they're things that you wish for that have an emotional attachment for you. 7 is the number of wish fulfillment, is the number of dreams and goals. Somebody said in the comments that I hold the cards too close to the video, so I'm trying to hold it further away. I'll hold it closer if there's something I want you to really see that's in detail. But I hope this is good. Let me know in the comments. But anyway, 7 is the number of dreams, wishes, and goals. It's the number of aspirations. It's also the number that was about surprises, life surprises, when life surprises you, right? When things come out of nowhere. But 7 of Cups specifically talks about when you're wishing, when you're dreaming, when you're setting up your goals, right? When you're daydreaming, perhaps, right? You're thinking about, or you're at a place in your life where you're trying to make a decision, right? Now, here though, look, this card is very, it's a delicate meaning because really it means be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you go after, because if you look what's in those cups, you have jewels in one, which is wealth, and a castle in another, which is a big, you know, a castle, a big estate, a house, you know. A beautiful face, which one could say is vanity. One could say that this is a false prophet or false leadership, right? So people kind of, you know, want to be, well, you know what I'm saying? This is kind of like low vibration. It's not necessarily highly evolved or spiritual. The snake can indicate sexual desires and passion and lusts, right? You have the wreath here, interestingly enough, with a skull in it. I always see the wreath as victories, but it could be hollow victories, victories that have come at the cost of someone else, right? And then, of course, here you have kind of like a demon, you know. So these are all very low vibrational desires. They're desires. They're not highly evolved or spiritual desires, and yet they make up this whole kind of like cloud of choices. And so this is why the 7 of Cups is, not only is it a card that indicates that you're in the midst of making a choice, but it is a warning for you to be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you choose. Some of the things that you choose may bring you satisfaction. You may believe they bring you a certain sense of satisfaction, but once you get them, you realize they don't, right? And so my what I always say when I pull this card, because this is quite a special card to pull, I always say that you don't need to pick from any of these options, right? Free will dictates that we can completely erase this cloud and set up a whole new set of options, a new set of opportunities, a new set of cups, ones that are full with symbols of more highly evolved goals and aspirations. So this is certainly a period where you're really doing a lot of reevaluating, and this is certainly a cautionary period. Four of Pentacles is how you see your individual. So you're wanting to hold on to your money. You're wanting to be careful. Whoever you're dealing with, it may be that you're dealing with someone in the family who's a friend, right? This could be someone you know, but they're kind of, Four of Pentacles is stability and money, right? But it's I'm waiting here because I'm hesitating because I hate this word, but it's a miserly kind of energy, right? Four of Pentacles is a miserly energy. It's a holding on to money for money's sake energy. It's when stability, it's when the desire for stability gets out of control, right? So, for instance, you may work, for example, someone who works to become stable, right? They become stable, they bring money into the family, everyone's doing well, but at some point, they never stop to smell the roses. They continue to just work for more money and more money and more money and more money. And they're also tight with the money. They don't want to spend what they've worked for. They don't want to, use it towards any kind of elevation or spiritual elevation. You know what I mean? They're just kind of I akin this to a dragon who just wants gold. When you go into the cave of a dragon, it's just full with gold. You feel like, well, what is the point? And it's literally because they just simply love the glitter of the gold, and so they work for it. This is the same type of energy. Somebody who simply likes the money, wants the money. And so this is coming up for how you see your partner. This could be someone that you're dealing with this week, right? You could be dealing with someone at work. You could be dealing with one of your friends, right? They either are behaving with this kind of energy, or they're making you want to protect what you've worked for. So it could be that, whoever you're dealing with this week is bringing this kind of very protective energy out in you. I mean, after all, you do have Queen of Pentacles here, right? Which is naturally protective over what you've worked for. I think that you feel a little bit threatened here. And on some financial level, or on some level to threaten in a way, what you've accomplished perhaps, or what, maybe what your goals may be in the field of finances or money or your livelihood. You're being very cautionary, right? And again, this could indicate someone that you're dealing with who's like that, but it's, I don't feel that so much. I just, even though this should be representing who you're dealing with this week, like your significant person in the center stage relationship, right? Could be a business relationship, could be an investor, right? Could be as well an investor you might be dealing with this week, right? While, like I said, you're going through all kinds of options in your head of how to go forward, right? And you could be on a financial level be dealing with someone who's like an investor, and they're feeling kind of tight with their money, right? And you're trying to get it out of them for your project or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's why this is quite interesting for this to come up, because you yourself, Capricorn, you are very careful with your money and stable. But Queen of Pentacles is not a miserly energy. She's a careful, nurturing energy, right? So this could very well be that you're dealing with somebody who you're trying to work with, and so maybe in some kind of professional capacity, right? And you feel like you're just having to kind of work a little extra to get them to put forth that coin. You are having some concerns right now, right, about that whole issue, right? You're having some sleepless nights right now. Worrying about some of your relationships. Could be worrying about some of your work relationships, right? You have concerns right now, Nine of Swords, right? Talks about Anxiety, mostly. You know, it's anxiety. It's sleepless nights, waking up at night. But 9 is the number of isolation as well. And it's also the number that represents energies to do with how we see ourselves, self-realization, our relationship with ourselves. You know, if we have like a nurturing relationship to ourselves, or do we beat ourselves up, or do you put yourself under a lot of pressure? That's your relationship with yourself. You know, we have a relationship with ourselves, you know, and that's how we treat ourselves, right? And so nines talks about that kind of energy. And so 9 of Swords is very much kind of having a kind of like guilty kind of, you know, you feel a little guilty. You're putting you may be putting yourself under unnecessary worry and anxiety, right? And a lot of times this is fear that's not manifest. You know, the things that you're worrying about are not actually real. They haven't manifested yet, but yet you do worry about them. Sometimes this could be past experiences that you've had with certain scenarios or relationships that is now giving you anxiety with where you're at now. You know, so you're kind of going back in your head and thinking, wow, you know, that went like that then. Is it going to go like that now? You know, is it all going to like go to shit again? Or is it all going to like not, you know what I mean? You're just having a lot of unnecessary anxieties right now. And think about how you're going forward. Certainly feeling quite on your own at the moment. Certainly with the 9s, you know, Hermit energy is here in the reading too. Therefore, you're opposite your person, but it's still Hermit energy. So I think you as well are feeling quite isolated in terms of whoever you're dealing with. You're not necessarily like that, right? You're still kind of feeling very much off on your own and in your own head as well. Certainly because here you're definitely trying to come, you know, you're trying to decide the next step. You're trying to reformulate your future, right? And a lot of things I feel like are happening quite quickly. Could be as well with family issues coming up. This could very much be family coming in. These could very much be issues that have been that you've been waiting to deal with family, right? This individual could be a family member, and it could be that, you know, their attitude towards money is what you've always had to, you know, what you've always fought over, right? That's another example of you know, who this could be, right? Certainly. And you could be revisiting that this week. That could also be part of your realigning your goals, healing family issues. And so now you're having some anxiety about it, right? But the people who are taking center stage with all of this, right? That individual is very ambitious. They're wanting to move forward right now. There's a lot of movement happening. It could be that you know, you are dealing with some family issues, and because that family or those, perhaps that individual, right, or a couple of individuals, because here we have 5 of Wands, which indicates multiple people bickering, right? So it could very well be, and so this is what I say. This is the line that represents your partner, but it can also represent your peers, people you work with. It can be multiple people, right? So if you're dealing with family issues, if you're dealing with more than one, there's been a lot of activity. They've been moving. There's been a lot of movement in the family. And I think that it's necessitated perhaps dealing with some of these issues. If this is a family matter, right? If this is simply like a business relationship, then your partner's very ambitious and they're about to move forward with a lot of plans. And again, it's the same thing though. It's causing you now to kind of have this relationship come up and be center stage right now because of their movement forward, whichever way, whatever that may be, right? They've always contended that, you know, interestingly enough, 7 of Swords. So 7 again, another 7. Remember I said 7s is about dreams, right? And aspirations, right? And so in 7 in Cups, it talks about your dreams and aspirations that have an emotional attachment to you, and choosing, daydreaming, picking, you know, imagining your future. 7 of Swords is that energy that when someone is wanting, you know, wants to covet your dreams, right? Now, this could be you or someone else, but basically it's wanting something so badly that you're willing to take it rather than work for it. It's kind of, it's thievery. It's the thief in the night, stealing ideas from other people. People are stealing ideas from you, right? That could be it, right? This could be, in real life, this could be something like a copyright infringement, right? Somebody takes your song, takes your book, you know. That's what I'm talking about. So someone who wants what you have, who wants your accomplishments, right? Your accomplishments, but they want them because to them it's their dream to fill, right? But they'd rather take it from you. Now, interestingly enough, right? This is coming up for your opposite, the people or person you're dealing with this week, right? Now, if this is your family, right, could very well be that they've always this has been at the root of some of the issues, which is that they felt like you've gotten away with murder. They've had to work harder, right? Could be very much like, if it's a sibling rivalry, they may feel like you always got the easy end and they didn't. You're always able to get away with what the least, you were always able to get what you wanted with the least amount of effort, and they were always forced to make all the effort, right? There's certainly some kind of animosity there. I think this is very much about family because, like, if it was a business relationship, this would be a really screwed up business. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't fit. It just feels much more like a family relationship, and certainly with the healing family issues. The only thing is that, and it's so sad to see, as usual, it's usually about money. Interestingly enough, right? Look at these two. So you, Capricorn, have seen, now if we go dive into this family issue a little bit more, you have seen them as being kind of like very tight with their money, not supporting you, not helping you out, miserly. You may have asked them for a loan once in a while and they were just like, nope. You're like, really? Why? And your version of the truth is that they're just a selfish bastard. They see you as the kid who always got away with everything. You always got your own way. Everything was easy for you, and they'll be damned if they help you with anything. Right? Now, this is not to say that they are actually miserly. They could be very generous. They're just not helping you out because they feel like you've been getting over your whole life. And, and then you haven't been, you feel like you've worked really hard for everything. And you feel like you haven't gotten over your whole life. You certainly don't feel like, things were easy for you. You think things were very hard for you, especially since whenever you asked them for a loan, they didn't give it to you. So where was the ease in that, right? So this is an example of what I'm talking about, how two people, and this is where you need to talk and make the effort to heal family issues, because you see each other through your own eyes. Most of the time when there's a family issue in any kind of way, how we see each other is not how we are. And yet each person holds their opinion to be fact, to be true. Generally because of ego and pride. If you can but let go of your ego and pride, if both people or all of the individuals involved could but let go of their ego and pride and simply tell each other what they really think and feel, then they would see how, in fact, they're both more similar than they are different, right? And more importantly, their values are both similar. Usually when we confuse what we see about each other, we also confuse each other's value systems. We attach value systems to it. So he's tight with his money. Now all of a sudden he's miserly. Now all of a sudden he's a selfish person. And selfish people are bad. Right? They think you're a get over artist. You take the easy route. That makes you lazy and idle. Right? That makes you bad. Huh? Then you start to, well, if he's lazy and idle, then he's probably, willing to do this, and this for you know, or not for a buck, right? Or willing or not willing to do this and this. You know, he's lazy and he gets over on people, so he'll sell you out. So now all of a sudden you're deceptive. Do you know what I mean? It can snowball. It can, you know, once we make one assumption or one leap, or we hold our own feelings to be factual, it can begin to snowball, and it starts to like come into how we feel about each other in terms of morals, right? And then when you have this conversation, you realize the most important thing is not even so much that you realize that you are more similar than you are different, but that your values and your morals and what you hold to be right and wrong usually are very much aligned. And in fact, you both have the same kind of ethics and, you know what I mean, sense of whatever, right or wrong, right? Sense of conscience. And that is what brings you together. Ultimately, that is what heals the family. You don't have to be like each other, but you have to have the same objective in terms of your moral center, the same belief in what is right and wrong. You know what I mean? And that's what, you know, that's what bonds us. They're very solitary. You're anxious and they're in hermit mode. It's going to take a minute to get them out of their mood, right? They may have felt separated from you for quite some time, right? They may have been separated on their own for quite some time. This individual in the family, or whoever this person is, may have felt quite isolated. Certainly isolated from you. You know, they may have this attitude as if they haven't seen you in such a long time, they don't even really know you anymore, or you know what I mean? Or they may be feeling just simply within themselves, just very kind of, you know, very used to being on their own. And they may have been on a personal journey. They may have been on a recent spiritual journey, which has perhaps opened up the door to some of this family healing. Because the hermit isn't only on his own, but he does have a level of sage, teacher, wisdom, self-realization. He's not unevolved. So, you know, for this individual to see their relationship as this with you, it certainly seems as though they may have come to a turning point where they are willing to listen, to talk, to make an effort. All right? So, don't be too worried. Let's get some clarity real quick. Give me some clarity on this reading so we can go a little bit deeper, get some reaffirmations. We want to know we're on the right track with this reading, so show me what's going on. Show me. Capricorn, 17th to the 24th. All right. We want to know about this family healing, making the effort. All right. Show me. Remember, the center is Queen of Pentacles, okay? At the very least, she protects her own. She protects, she nurtures. She protects the integrity, right, of what she's worked for. You've come a very long way, Capricorn, so regardless of anything, you know, you should remain protective of what you've worked for. It can easily be undone. Not necessarily undone, but it, you know, it can take dents, it can take hits. Even when you're dealing with family issues and things like that, you know, always remember to still maintain your own, right? Sometimes when healing happens after a long time, we go almost all the way to the other side, and before you know it, you're giving everything away. You're making all of these changes in your life because there's been some healing, right? And then suddenly later on, something comes along and you say, oh shit, how did this process turn into me now not being where I want to be? So be careful. This is kind of an admonishment card. Let's see what the clarity is. The Fool, yep. New journey. High Priestess, yeah. Page of Wands. The Hermit. Ace of Cups. and the world. All right. This is the clarity. King of Pentacles. Right? Your Queen of Pentacles, one to protect. King of Pentacles, he's the enterpriser. He's the one, like I said, he's built his business up. His energy is very different, though. His energy is more proprietary. He wants to continue to build, continue to increase. He's very proud of his fortune, right? He wants to continue to have his fortune, make more money. Whereas the Queen of Pentacles is more nurturing, protective of it, and having worked for it. The King of Pentacles is more just that industrious man, right? The man who put the action, who put the whole idea into action, right? He's commanding, right? But he's about his money. He's about his money. He's about business, always. The Fool, certainly, yeah, you're on a new journey. You're trying to, the Fool talks about a new journey, but certainly a new journey with a leap of faith. Wherever you're going, you're going to have to take a little bit of a leap of faith, all right? Right now, you're contemplating what your choices are, but whatever your choice ends up being, there will be a leap of faith that's necessary for you to move forward, because as in all beginnings of new journeys that are exciting, you really shouldn't know completely where you're going. The High Priestess, so she's coming in, yeah, you're getting into your intuitive, right? You're feeling very intuitive. Your psychic energies are kind of like turning up, Capricorn, right? You're getting very much more into, the High Priestess represents all that is occult, mysticism, esotericism. You can see the crescent moon at her feet. She has dominion over those schools of thought. She's so highly intuitive and wise that she remembers what was before. She knows what is now happening, and she can almost foresee the future. I mean, she sees the potential of the future because of so much wisdom that she has. So she talks about that energy that can come up when we're getting, when we're feeling like we really need to get more spiritual. We need to get deeper into our own. We need to do more meditating. We need to get into our intuition. This can certainly come up when you're having family issues or you're dealing with family matters. You can be certainly feeling much more spiritual, wanting to have a lot more spiritual help. That's why a lot of people go to the church when they're dealing with family issues, right? Now, you may not be church going, but whatever it is for you, you're certainly going to be digging into that energy to deal with this issue right now. Page of Wands, somebody is certainly coming forward with a message. So somebody came to you with something, some kind of message. Perhaps it's a family reunion or a dinner or whatever, right? But it's an idea it's an idea, a proposal, right? To do something new. Perhaps to have a new conversation, perhaps to have a new go at it. And it's interesting that you have anxiety about it, right? That's what's giving you the anxiety. Because someone's come specifically in and they want to have a talk with you, right? They want to talk to you about something. They may be wanting to start something with you and you're not really sure, right? They may be wanting to, when I say start something, I mean start. They have a proposal, they have an idea, they have something. Perhaps you've dealt with them before, especially if it's a family matter. That might be what's giving you the anxiety, This could be something that they've done before, and now, here they come again. The calls come, the letters come, or whatever, and they've come with this new, hey, listen, let me talk to you about this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, God, not again. But this is leading to healing, right? So like I said before, these fears are not manifest. These are anxieties. Don't necessarily assume that whatever this communication or desire to communicate that has been sent out is nefarious. It could be the beginning of serious healing, right? Make the effort. Remember, make the effort and try not to be too worried. This is all part of the new beginning that the Fool represents. The Hermit is here for the Chariot, right? So they're coming out of hermit mode, right? So that's what it is. Certainly, like I said, they've been in hermit mode. They're coming out of hermit mode and they're ready to move forward. I think this person has probably done a lot of self-realization. They may have gone through a very difficult period this recent time that has kind of gotten them to open up their eyes a little bit about some stuff. I think they realize, a little bit, they're the ones who are coming with this message. And I think through some shadow work that they've done, they've really perhaps, I'm not going to say that they've changed, but I think that perhaps they've realized a little bit of what they've been responsible for in terms of why there needs to be healing in the first place. They certainly feel love for you. They feel love for you. Ace of Cups. It could be that they have a renewed sense of empathy for you. All right. Could be that whatever they went through that put them in this hermit mode, this could have been a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever. It's allowed them to really kind of like see, perhaps start to see you through different eyes, and it's begun to get them to feel that kind of love for you again. And I'm not saying they stopped loving you. If it's a family member, they probably always did love you. But certainly now they're feeling a little bit more like they want to come close and show their emotions. It's Ace of Cups. So certainly it's a new level in your relationship in terms of, and certainly if you haven't been talking, or you've had issues that has necessitated healing, they have certainly realized, seen the big picture. The World card comes when you see a bigger picture. You relieve yourself of hang-ups and baggage and burdens that you've had for a long time, because you realize that in the bigger picture they don't mean anything, right? I think they also see you like this. It's been some time. They see you having gone on with your life and doing things, right? You're at a point now in your life where you're able to start visualizing and manifesting the next stage of your life, I mean, that's good to be in that position, right? Not everybody's in that position, right? So they see you. They see, and I think they see themselves also a little bit differently. Certainly there's been some kind of change. I'm sorry, I've got all these, like, bugs, and I don't want to squash them. It's not bugs. It's like the, summertime, so it's like these little ants and stuff that come. And I just want to, like, not, Anyway, so, yeah, there's been a little shift. Capricorn, there's been a shift. And, yeah, I think you should make the effort, certainly. Perhaps this is going to come in for you this week, or the beginnings of this week. This has been a long one. So, for now, I'm just going to cut it short. If this resonated with you, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, and all of that good stuff. But, wow, what a week you got, Capricorn. I wish you all the best. I love you so much, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful June 17th to the 24th. Bye.